gentlemen, have your attention, please. I see some people still have not found their seats. If we can all be seated, please, so we can get the program started. Thank you very much. And I also ask that you respect the people that are here on the stage tonight. We can hear talking anywhere in this room. The acoustics in here are not that well. So we ask that you respect the speakers and keep your conversations to yourself.
Amen. Thank you.
Also, we ask you to silence your phones. I don't want to hear a phone ring tonight because 9 chances out of 10, I'll think it's mine, and I'll pull it out and answer it. So, if you all would kind of silence your phones, we'd appreciate that. Thank you. And if we'd all rise and join us in prayer, please.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this turnout this evening, for all the candidates who are brave enough to step forward, especially Donald Trump. We ask you to bless each and every person in this room, for those members who are not able to attend for any reason, for any of our loved ones that are ill in any format. May you, Lord, give them peace. And we ask you to bless this meeting. Amen.
Amen.
Remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light
What so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? USA!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, opening remarks.
Thank you.
As King Henry VIII said to his 6 wives, this is not gonna last long. Tom just wrote that one down. All right, folks, something that I'm hearing, I'll just be brief on this, and I'm probably hearing it too. A lot of people are very disheartened about elections, but we can't lose hope. So I'll tell you a quick little story and try to tie it up. There were these 2 twins, one was a pessimist, one was an optimist. So the parents decided to take them to a psychologist, and the psychologist said, give them something. So the thing was, the pessimist, they gave him a bunch of toys, loaded them up with toys and said, you know what'll happen? He'll say, you see, the other boy didn't get those toys. And then they said, was the other boy, the optimist, since they had a stall with horses in there, they'll give him some of that stuff he drops under him. So eventually they both got their prizes. The little boy with the toys, the twin, The pessimist said, my brother's going to take all of those cars, all of those toys I have. And then the optimist boy had a big pile of that stuff that fell out of the horse. But he was on top of that pile and he was shoveling it and throwing it over his shoulder. And they said, what are you doing? He said, there has to be a pony under here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to have that type of attitude. We can't lose hope. You are still in the greatest country in the world. So continue to vote. Continue to encourage other people to vote. And thank all the candidates for having the courage for stepping forward.
Just want to make a comment about the petition signing period that you've heard me go over and over again today. One, we at the Lehigh Valley Tea Party want to thank the 3 congressional candidates. It takes a lot to run a campaign. It takes a lot of abuse that they have to go through. So we appreciate all 3 of them running. And we ask that every single person in this room that lives in the 7th Congressional District sign one of those 3 petitions. And then also, we have petitions, and we'll do this at the break and then at the end of the meeting if you haven't done it, for Monroe County, Carbon County, Northampton County, and Lehigh County for the candidates for treasurer, the U.S. Senate, and President Trump. You should sign a petition for President Trump. We need to send a message. And also, for my selfish reasons, I want to announce that there are 3 delegate candidates running for the delegate to the National Convention in the 7th Congressional District, and those petitions are to my right over here, and that's Patrick Cubbage, Jackie Rivera, and myself. So please sign their petitions or my petition, and then also Jackie's father, Bob Smith, is running for alternate delegate. So thank you for doing that. Don't leave this room tonight before you've signed a petition. If you live in Montgomery, Bucks, or Chester County by any chance, we have Trump petitions there as well. And then we have Josh Prince here who's running for delegate in the 4th Congressional District. If you happen to live in that, then sign his petition. Thank you.
Let me step out here where I can read with you guys. Now, soliciting, canvassing, and distribution of any literature is strictly prohibited in this building. All literature must be approved before distribution. See Andrew over there at the other mic. Disregarding this would be grounds for removal. And in case you don't know who security is, we have them standing around the room, Tim, and myself.
So, earlier last month, as many of you know, we did not have our pig roast last summer, but we did have a New Year's party. And if you look at the cake, let's see how many of you can read. We had a successful get-together. Can you read the cake there?
Great, make America great.
This is a Sam's cupcake. This is like an Italian bakery. They're not going to get that spelling right.
You know, this is one of the programs you find on Facebook. Find your mistake.
Yeah.
Anyway, we were going to remove that as, but I thought it was funny. But anyway, beautiful cake, and there's some of the pictures of the about 65 people that came out. We ate well. We had a nice night. We didn't have any speakers. It was just a get together. There's another photo there. So I want to thank the team that helped me put that together, and hope some of you will consider if we decide to do it again next year, if we're still around.
And no, we did not catch you guys dancing. We didn't take pictures of that. We should have. All right, I think we've gone through this before. Having respect for the speakers. Keep your voice low. We can hear what goes on back by the bar. So I expect you all to respect the speakers. All right, membership and treasury reports. Total members, regular and associate, 7,296. Bank balance as of today, $68,371, and I hate that number, 66 cents. Credit line available for funds is $10,000. All right, let me ask, we have any first-time attendees here tonight? Stand up, please. You all stand up. The first time I've done this. All right, we want to welcome you here tonight, but we ask that you go over to the membership table, sign up, get your membership card, which will allow you to do some voting next meeting. And the raffle, which will be drawn tonight, one winner. It's a 50-50 raffle. You can get your 50-50 tickets back at the corner. They're waiving the tickets now. And usually it's a good sum of money that we give out at the end of the night to one person. Okay, Second Amendment Committee raffle of $500, a gift certificate of your choice from Raleigh Hunter Firing Line, Lehigh Valley Sporting Clays, or A.F. Boyer. Now, they're all sold out as of right now, correct? And we will be drawing that tonight, correct? I'll just take it out to my car now. Okay. All right, if you do not have cash on you to purchase anything you want to purchase here tonight, from the merchandise table in the back, we do sell chips for the amount of money that you want to put on them, and you can use those to purchase anything in the house. You can also use them to put in the buckets, the donation buckets, on the table. And we want to thank you for any donations that you want to stick in those buckets.
Okay, so we have at the rear where it says cakes and cannolis. That is to fund the next letter, the next slide, Tom, it's the next slide, is to take my scouts, actually more than one troop, to West Point. I received this letter yesterday. I love it, from the United States Military Academy. And we got accepted to return to West Point to Camp Early. To make that happen, I have to rent a few vans, which is costly, fuel the vans, and boy, can those kids eat. They cost me. But I will tell you, this is a very difficult event to get into, just like getting into West Point. And for years, my troop, we applied. And my close friend in my troop said, send them another note, 2 weeks out. And they sent us a simple letter. They said, report to West Point. And that was the first time we went. Since we went the first time, they actually like us so much, because we bring them goodies from the Lehigh Valley. We've won 6 times in a row. So we're kind of in-house favorite. They need to help me out by buying some brownies, cakes, and cannolis. And next month I'll be looking for just an outright donation to help me pay for that. Thank you.
Andrew, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Can you not look into going to the Naval Academy?
We actually went to the Naval Academy earlier this year. Yeah, absolutely.
Too old, Jim.
Not too old.
That's right. Age is just a number.
I did spend time in the Naval Academy. Thank you much.
And did you tell them what Navy stands for? Never again volunteer yourself. Stacy likes that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you a whole story about that. Volunteering. I actually volunteered for a program while I was at the Naval Academy. And I should have kept my mouth shut. I volunteered to be a guinea pig for the astronaut training program. And if anyone has watched The Right Stuff, the movie The Right Stuff, that is what I went through. The centrifuge and the shaky thing. And, you know, to be honest with you, some people say that as of today, I'm not right.
That's what happened.
Well, listen, I actually passed out twice. I went into a coma on that centrifuge when they got up to 30 G's.
Oh, wow.
And I knew my face was here, but it felt like it was over here. But that's my story. Andrew?
All right, so. Folks, if you are a Second Amendment person, you have a handgun, a shotgun, a rifle, God forbid someone breaks into your house, you have the right to defend yourself, but you still will be taken to court and you need to protect yourself. The best way to do that is with U.S. Law Shield. If you go back there where it says Second Amendment, we have some flyers over there. They're waving their hands. And instead of getting 12 months, you will get 14 months. They'll give you 2 extra months. It's for under $200. You're protected from the start of your case to the end of your case, even if you get in a fist fight, okay? So it's a worthwhile investment.
All right, next on the program is Support the Truth. We have Al Ferguson here with us tonight, who is going to say a couple words. You need this?
Oh, I guess so.
Good evening. So do you believe it's February already?
Real.
So, there's a lot of big events in February. The first one is tomorrow. We find out if we get rid of this dreary weather, whether or not you believe it or not. Then there's Valentine's Day, and everybody loves somebody. And then we've got the petition signing. Now, I've been a member of this wonderful Tea Party since the inception 15 years ago. And in the beginning, I didn't know what the petition signing was all about. And some of you, the new people here, probably don't know. Well, just ask. There's people who will explain things to you. And your job is not only to sign tonight, but I'm giving you another job. See, I'm passionate about our troops. And I believe that everybody here wants to make a difference, and that's important. So my husband and I send 3,484 packages so far. And we're going to continue doing that because that's what I love. And I love the fact that they appreciate it. Well, these people here are going to appreciate your signing their petition. But there's something else. We keep coming back, and a lot of you just sit and like to listen, and it's a nice night out. We get free coffee, and there's camaraderie here. But you got to do something more. Download or get some, not petitions, applications to vote. Do you know how many people in Northampton County alone don't vote? Thousands and thousands, something like 60%. So I was in the car this week with some people I didn't know, and 3 of them, what we call our youth. Big Mouth over here asked them if they were registered to vote. One didn't answer, but the other 2 said yes. And I said, well, do you know the different parties and all this and everything? Well, long story short is they were going to come tonight, but I think they'll come next month because one thing led to another. They had an appointment at 7 o'clock, and I said, by the time you get there, it'll be too late. But all week long, they're texting me. And they're saying they're doing their homework, and they like what they see between the 2 different parties. And that's all because I just mentioned something to them. So your job is to get some of those applications to vote and start asking people. I used to shoot archery, and every week, this gentleman, Vietnam veteran, talked politics to me because he knew he had a good listener. And he'd argue and argue and argue. And then one day I found out he never voted in his life. I almost shot him. So I brought him an application to vote, and ever since, he's voting. All you need is a little encouragement. So that's your assignment. And back to the troops, I thank you people who brought me the toothpaste and popcorn and whatever, etc. I know a lot of you get magazines. I never thought I'd be asking for this, but I'm asking for generic magazines. People, things like that. I get a lot of gun magazines. I don't need them, but I'll take them if you really need to. But generic magazines, no cooking magazines. And beef jerky and deodorant when they're on sale. So thank you very much, and I'll tell you what a difference you make. This is from a local person. Good morning, Blair and Valerie Ferguson. I wanted to send you this and tell you that my team received your care package. It was received with lots of smiles by all. We have hung the letters from the elementary school up, and the items that were sent were taken within minutes. Your community was able to lift the spirits of our team here, and I am grateful for it. Please tell Maya, Wade, and Emma, these are children who wrote, I don't know where to find them, notes, that their letters made the wall here. The magazines and books have been distributed throughout the organization, and everyone was happy to have something tangible to read. Thank you for the hard work of putting this together and getting this to us. Please let everyone involved know that we appreciate it. It means a lot. Paul Jordan, Airborne Division, MK Air Force Base. I thank you, our troops thank you, and God bless America.
And Valerie, we thank you for the effort that you put into doing this. Thank you very much. I now want to invite to the stage, forget it, he's already here. Tyler Carroll.
Thank you. I'm hijacking the meeting. Okay. As the steering committee chair, my responsibility is to make sure we comply with all the 501c4 rules that keep us out of trouble and make sure that our political activity complies with all that. So that's why I've been a little bit of a stickler with making sure that we follow the rules of distributing literature and all that stuff. So I want to thank the campaigns again for participating in that process in a respectful manner. And we also keep communications with the county parties. And I can tell you I've been involved with both Lee County and North Hampton County Republican committees for many years as being the city Republican chair as Bethlehem sits in both counties. And we've had ups and downs in those county committees through the years. But I can tell you right now, I'm very pleased with the leadership and direction of both county parties from a perspective of being a limited government constitutional conservative. I can tell you how much better these two county parties are than they were maybe years ago. And I want to thank Joe Bichot, Lee County Chair, and also Glenn Eisner. And I want to invite Joe up here to speak for about 2 minutes about what's going on with this county party. Joe, you're still here, right? There you are. Come on up, Joe.
Thanks, Tom. Hey, Andrew, if you want to switch the slide, and then we'll put Glenn's up. Hello, everybody. I'm Joe Michaud, the chairman of the Lehigh County Republican Committee. First, I just want to, before I talk about a couple things that we're having an issue with at the Board of Elections, as you guys know, you're having here in Northampton County. I wanted to invite every one of you to our Lincoln Day breakfast, September 24th, at the Sales University. Our featured guests, we have a huge lineup. Dave McCormick, Tim DeFore, okay, that's our older slide. I thought I sent you the new one, but
Yeah, but unfortunately, we were already on the road by then.
all right, so I'll read this one. So we increased it. So Dave McCormick, Tim DeFore, Auditor General, Stacy Gary, our State Treasurer, who is here tonight. And Dave Sunday, our Attorney General, endorsed candidate. We also have Jared Coleman, our State Senator for the Pennsylvania 16th District. And then our special guest speakers are the Honorable Scott Perry, Congressman from the Pennsylvania 10th District, and Dr. Todd Williams, who is President and CEO of Cairn University. It's a Christian conservative university, one of the very few left in Pennsylvania, not just in our country. Somebody has their hand out.
Yeah, I have a paper that's on this number. It mentions this Lincoln Day brunch as being February the 10th.
That'll be the Northampton County brunch.
I have to go to, I just want everybody to know that.
We're getting ahead of this, but yeah, it's Lehigh County is on the 24th. Coming up very soon, though, is the Northampton one on February 10th. So yeah, we have great speakers, and then at the last minute, we also have a special appearance by Congressman Dan Muser. So what I'd like to just announce to everybody at the Tea Party, I know we have many of our committee members here from Lehigh County, got many of the Northampton members here. They get a discount because they're committee members, and then our normal price is for non-committee members is $80. However, tonight, any Tea Party member here in this room tonight You don't have to sign up tonight. You can take the paper home with you, or you email us and you just say you're with the Tea Party. It's only $60 per Tea Party member. So please take advantage of that. And we would love to have you come. Enough on that. All I wanted to talk real quick was Tuesday we had an election board meeting. Bill Lockenberg was helping me with a HAVA complaint on the fact that Lehigh County has not been following the LNA testing directives by the state secretary. So at the meeting, they wanted to cover their rear end by saying they had a motion that they support the statute. Basically, the motion was, let me just read it real quick. Their testing of the election equipment and machinery, the board shall comply with all requirements of 25 PS statute 3031.10 regarding the testing of the election district machinery, and also 3031.14 regarding the testing of the central tabulation equipment. Well, that's all fine and dandy. However, they don't even follow that. Ever. They haven't followed that. And so the directives were much more specific than this, and they told me, well, I'm not going to follow directives. We only have to follow what the law says. We don't need to make it any more restrictive. Well, but like I said, they weren't even following this. And then I went on to tell them other parts of the election code that they weren't following as well. So they're not complying, but we are definitely going to continue to hold their feet to the fire. The fact that they actually admitted that they will follow this and they have to do a motion on it, we will follow up with this and make sure that they follow along. I'm not going to go into detail on the statute, but a lot of it has to do with they're supposed to be having a bipartisan team made up of designated political party members that are deputized by the Board of Elections to test these machines. And you have a right, they do say if you want technically minded people that have to be chosen, but that person within our party has a right to touch those machines, test those machines and be involved in the whole process. That's never been done. So we're going to start holding them to the feet to the fire and have them do that. The second part was, Tom Carroll brought this up at a meeting I was at, that every precinct must be posting the results at the end of the night to the public, just like they used to do. It should be posted on the window, on the door, or whatever. That is still in the law. And of course, Benio in Lehigh County told me that came out with Act 77. It did not come out in Act 77. So we will, and that's, at least that was confirmed to me by Senator Coleman's office. We will look into that and make sure that is accurate. And we will make sure, because if they post the results at every precinct, at least we'll know that when those USB sticks that's supposed to, get over to the office and get inputted into the computer in the mainframe, that information is accurate, that something didn't change along the way. And if we know what the results are at the polling station, if anything gets uploaded and it looks different, we at least have a right to demand an audit and get a paper count or something like that. So hopefully we can get that done as well. So those are some of the big things behind the scenes that we're doing in Lehigh County on top of the election. So, and one last thing on the push for getting out the vote. In an article in Breitbart, PPUSA, showed that in 2020, 589,000 Republicans did not vote, and we lost by 80,000 votes. Right? So we could talk about cheating, we could talk about mail-in ballots, we could talk about everything. Those are votes that did not show up. We got to get those people to vote, and then overcome the cheating after that. So, thank you, everybody.
So, that Bill Lockenberg and myself oftentimes come up here and speak about the cases and the election cases, and I can say that we are very pleased that both the Lehigh County and the Northampton County committees have been working with us and communicating with us, because we have a complaint that is also coming out, that's come out of Northampton County as well, and we are generating a lot of the information that came from that election where the votes were flipping. And it was very important that they have been so much on the ball with that. And with regard to what you said, every single person in this room, if you're a registered Republican, you should be thinking about running for your local committee spot. It takes 10 signatures to get on the ballot, like all these petitions. I have petitions here tonight, so come see me and talk to me about whether you would want to do that, and we'll explain that process. And I just also want to thank Joe for all that he's done, and then invite Glenn Geisinger up here now to speak about what's going on in Northampton County. And Glenn has been fighting some tremendous battles, but they've done a good job in Northampton County as well.
So I appreciate the opportunity to spend just 2 minutes with you tonight. As Tom said, we are getting ready. It is the petition period. If you live in Northampton County, you are a registered Republican. We would love to have you talk to Tom, talk to me about being on committee and what that means and how you can do that. We need dedicated conservatives who want to get our candidates elected to office to work with us on the committee. As you can see up here, our Lincoln Day is actually a brunch that's coming up on the 10th. And we're excited. I'll make the same offer. If you are, normally our committee member price is $65. If you are a Tea Party member, we only have 2 days left to register. But if you're interested, we'll drop that down to $60 for everybody in the room tonight. So we're happy to do that. There was a question earlier. I heard a question about Lincoln Day. What was that? I heard somebody mention it. Did we get an answer?
Yeah, we got an answer.
We got an answer. Okay. All right. Not a problem then. So very quickly, one of the things that Tom pointed out is we are all very familiar, if you read it, in each one of our 156 precincts in Northampton County in the last election, we had issues with the voting machine. There was a flip of the vote between Vanilla and Seville. It ended up that what we were told in 2019, which was you need to make sure that you follow the audit trail, that's what's going to matter, was actually the exact opposite thing that our county executive told us in 2023, which is no, don't worry about the audit trail, look at what's on the barcode. Okay, and for you, those of you who don't work with our machines, very simply, there's a barcode section electronic, and then there's a paper piece that's produced, that is the audit trail. Okay, kind of like an old punch card looking thing, for those of you who don't vote for Northampton County. We filed over 42 different right-to-know requests. Some of them were responded to, some of them were not responded to at all, other than tough luck, we're not giving it to you. We are going to continue to keep that pressure on. Lamont LaFleur was required, in order, because of the political pressure, to fire his right-hand man, who's in there with us from the beginning. Well, I have nothing against Charles Rippinger at all as an individual. I'll tell you what, right now, Lamont LaFleur scares us. And it is people like you who are going to go out and keep the pressure on him. We're going to keep the pressure on him in the Elections Commission, and we're going to make sure that he has an open and fair election in Northampton County. And we are doing the same thing. I am grateful for our state representatives and Senator Coleman, who are up there in Harrisburg, who are working to get these machines decertified and to get the Secretary of State to do what he needs to do to make sure that when the ballots are cast in November, they are accurate. And we know in this room that if they are done accurately, then Donald Trump will be the next President of the United States.
Quick announcement here, we have been notified by Fearless here, there are 2 cars that are parked in handicapped parking spots, and they're going to be towed, so listen carefully. We have a red Trax LT, license plate GHH 4840. So again, red Trax LT, GHH 4840. Kindly move your car immediately. The second car is a red 4Runner, license plate HGJ 0746, HGJ 0746. If that's any of our members in this room, please move the car immediately. Also, quick announcement, that door over there that some of you come through, the ramp door, that is reserved for handicapped and our staff, meaning the people that run this show. Please refrain from using that entrance unless you're handicapped or you're the staff. Please use the other door, as we have that bell ring throughout the meeting, and it's annoying. Thank you.
So I promise I'm going to give the microphone back to Jim as soon as I'm done with this. Well, actually, after the person speaks, I'm going to introduce here. 4 years ago, we were in a very interesting political race, and we saw what happened, but we did have some victories, and one of the most important victories were the state broke office positions of treasurer and auditor general. Interesting about that was the people that signed Act 77 told us that, well, we got rid of straight party voting, and that's why we actually built our majorities in the state house and the state senate, which of course now we have lost, but that wasn't true. What was really true was that President Trump did so well and was so overwhelmingly winning, and they cheated, but they didn't cheat down ballot. So we as Republicans could get more state house representatives and more senate representatives, but we're still paying the price for that horrible law. But the one good thing that happened because of President Trump was that Stacey Garrett got elected as the treasurer of Pennsylvania. And some phenomenal person I met her well before she was elected, and I'm so proud to call her a friend, and I'm glad that she's here tonight, and thank you, and come up and talk to us for a few minutes.
So, I'm Stacey Garrett, your state treasurer, a lifelong Republican, a lifelong conservative. And first, I want to thank the Lehigh Valley Tea Party and all you patriots out there for everything that you're doing to get Pennsylvania and the rest of the country back on the right track. So thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, so this is the most important election of our lifetime. And you know what? I know we say that every year. Heck, I said it last cycle in probably 35 counties, nothing for the judicial slate. But there is a reason that we say that. Because every election that goes by that we don't get good conservative Republicans into office, we get closer and closer to losing our great Commonwealth and our country, right? So think about it. Okay, we lost the state house. Okay, we lost the Senate race. We lost the governor's race. So the only thing standing in the way for Pennsylvania becoming California is the state Senate and your two fiscal watchdogs, which would be myself and Auditor General Tim DeFore. So what does that mean? We got to win. We got to win. Failure is not an option. Right? Okay. So, I am blessed and honored to be able to talk about the ticket that we have, the endorsed ticket. And I have to tell you that Dave McCormick, Dave Sunday, Tim DeFore, and myself, our only ambition is to serve. That's it. Our only ambition is to serve. And I can't remember being able to stand up and say that about a slate of candidates before, but I can this time. Okay, so a couple of things about Dave McCormick running for U.S. Senate. Okay, so West Point graduate, combat veteran, was a Desert Storm, Bronze Star recipient, successful businessman, job creator. He doesn't need that job. Why is he running? Because he wants to see the American dream restored for his 6 daughters and your kids and your grandkids. Okay, he wants to get the country back on the right track. He's really worried. Okay, Dave Sunday. Our Attorney General candidate. Yes, I am too. Yes. So, District Attorney for York, also a combat veteran, by the way. And just in his first term in office, reduced crime 30%, was a special prosecutor, went after drug traffickers and gang members. Okay. So, he is fantastic. And then Tim DeFore, Auditor General, his background was a special investigator for the Office of the Inspector General, investigating waste, fraud, and abuse, and he's doing a fantastic job. And then last but not least, yours truly. So, thank you. So, spent 3 years in the Army Reserves, 3 deployments all to the Middle East, businesswoman, okay, and then I beat every single Treasury record. But things that you would probably care more about, fighting ESG. Fighting Reggie, okay? Real friend to oil and gas. Pulled our money out of Russia and Belarus the day that Putin invaded Ukraine. We were the only state agency to get our money out, which is your money, by the way, before the markets closed. As a point of interest, also pulled our money out of China in 2022. Why? Because of human rights abuses that rival Stalin's. And then, after the October 7th, terrible Hamas slaughter of innocent Israeli citizens, we went ahead and we invested $20 million in Israel bonds, which means you invested $20 million in Israel bonds. And I'll tell you why. It's because we have to stand against a terrorist organization whose stated agenda has been, since 1948, the total eradication of the state of Israel and the Jewish people. So put simply, democracy should support democracies. Think about this. If Hamas stopped fighting, there would be no more war. If Israel stopped fighting, there would be no more Israel, and I will always stand with Israel. Okay? So, before I wrap it up, I would like all the veterans in the room to stand up, because I know we have a lot of veterans out there. Stand up, folks. Thank you for signing our petitions. Thank you for getting out the vote. You know, we have to unite. We have to win, win, win. God bless you. God bless Pennsylvania. And God bless the United States. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, Andrew's going to talk about this one.
Alright, I'm going to play a video here because I was at a lady's door the other day and I was just thinking about, well, how can I explain this to you guys? So, Rocky is one of my favorite movies here. Hold on here, I'll explain why. If I can get this to work there.
Dad, what the hell are you doing? This guy will knock you on your ass! Come on, Rock, it's not a game. You want to live in the hospital for 5 weeks this time? You thought I was tough, this girl will kill you. Come on, get your head on your shoulders, man. Think about the fight, Come on, Lance, he's trying to hurt you, Rock. He's trying to hurt you. Okay, here he comes. Yeah, he's down. He's trying to hurt you. You gotta fight, you gotta move.
There's two things that I want to say about that made me think. One, when he said to Rocky, he said, if you think that I'm going to hurt you, this guy's going to hurt you more. Within our own most of us are Republicans, within our own Republican Party, we fight among ourselves. Okay? There's a lot of people that blow a lot of smoke and don't produce a lot. But they're nothing compared to the Democrats. They're going to hurt you much more. You guys got to be brave here. The second thing is, there is no tomorrow. So I wrote this little thing up here. A new life on earth awaits all of us if we defeat the evils of socialism. We can close our border, stop inflation, get back to teaching, reading, writing, and arithmetic in schools, and reduce corruption in all levels of government. If we work for it. But we have to work for it. Each of us in this room needs to be active, part of a restoration. If you sit on the side and expect others to do it for you, we will fail and everyone will suffer for generations. I was at a door in Affluent neighborhood the other day. It was a Vietnamese lady. I knew she was Vietnamese because my best friend in college was Vietnamese. She came to the door and she said, what do you want? I said, you're registered as a Republican, I'm asking for a signature. She said to me, my vote didn't count. I voted this past election and my vote didn't count. She said I escaped communism in Vietnam and I won't vote again. We can't have that attitude. She did sign a petition. She said, the only reason I'm going to sign this petition is because you're out here in the cold. Well, that's why I put that movie clip on. So, how many in this room will stand and commit to being part of this great return to normal? If so, please stand now. Yes, I invite you to show your bravery and stand up if you're going to fight. Everyone can do something in this room, but we are the leaders here. Thank you. And the next announcement is we have a discussion within our Lehigh Valley Tea Party Board. And as you can read it, in motion that the Lehigh Valley Tea Party endorses Donald J. Trump for President 2024. Focus on that between now and the general election 2024 on getting him elected in the Lehigh Valley. So again, the board has done that. We voted unanimously, and we're asking for you to get behind our vote. Tom wants to say something.
I will make that motion.
Tom makes a motion, and then we have a second from Patrick Covich. Any discussion? All in favor of the Lehigh Valley Tea Party endorsing President Donald Trump? Aye. Any opposed? We thank you guys. We'll send out a notice to all of the Tea Party members. All right. So now we're going to move to another piece of business here. Board member considerations. Keep in mind when nominating someone to the board, the following things should be taken into consideration. Okay? Jim, you want to read a couple of those for me? I'll read the first one. Board members must carry out the will of the membership, which right now means supporting Trump. Please don't nominate a never Trumper. Jim will take number 2.
Board members should be willing to take on the responsibility for a major management area like communications, finance, membership, fundraising, audio, visual services, website administration, speaker scheduling, strategic planning, etc.
Board members should be willing to staff tables at the monthly members meeting and able to attend almost all of them.
Board members must attend a monthly board meeting and must be committed to growing the LVTP, not to merely feed their own ego.
We need a chairman for the board who is a skilled leader and who is willing and able to implement board's specific plans. So now we're going to turn the stage over to Mr. Tom Joy, a former board member. Round of applause.
Greetings, everyone. According to the Lehigh Valley Tea Party bylaws, nominations for board members are called for at the February meeting. And that is for the election of board members at the next meeting in March. There are 6 available seats right now. That's half of the available ones. We alternate between years, 6 every year. And this year also there is 1 vacant seat for 1 year. Those are the normal board seats are for 2 years, and the vacant one is for 1 year. So that's 7 total this year that we need nominations for. So if you would like to nominate someone to fulfill those requirements, I would like you to raise your hand if you can, so I can call on you, and we can make nominations today. Yes. Go ahead.
I'd like to nominate Andrew Hazen.
All right, and your name is Marianne?
Morales.
Marion Morales.
Morales. Marianne Morales nominates Andrew. second for that? Okay.
Annette raised her hand.
All right, Annette, we'll take you as your second. Okay. All right, any other nominations?
Nominate Tom Carroll.
All right, Patrick nominates Tom Carroll as second.
Second.
All right. What's your name?
Bud Norris.
Bud Norris. Second. Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Jim Rush here on stage. Jim Rush.
All right, Andrew. Tim seconds that. All right.
Hold on, we have to make sure we get the names.
Yep.
As we are recording it by the secretary.
Okay, so that was Andrew nominated Jim, and that was Tim Fisk. Tim Fisk. Took that. Anyone else? Any other nominations? Yeah, Tim Fisk seconded. Yeah, that's okay.
I would nominate Franklin Coker.
All right, so Tom Carroll nominates Franklin Cope. And that's Emily back there is second. Any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Jackie Arthur for the ward. She's in the rear.
Jackie Arthur?
Yes.
Jackie Arthur, okay, Jackie, any second? Emily, she'll second that. Anyone else, any other nominations?
I would nominate Bill Bachman.
Tom Carroll nominates Bill Bockenberg.
Second.
Okay, Patrick, we'll say you're the second.
Can you check with the secretary to make sure that she has those recorded?
You have them all? That was, Andrew is on, nominated Bill Bockenberg, and that was Patrick Covich.
Correction, that was Tom Carroll. Then.
Oh, I'm sorry. Tom Carroll nominated, made the nomination. Patrick seconded, yep. All right, anyone else?
Yes, Jackie Arthur, I nominated her.
And Emily seconded.
Seeing no other.
Okay, seeing no other nominations, we're going to close the nominations. Oh yeah, that was just for the original 6. Okay, that was for the original, the 2-year term, the 6 2-year terms. Now we're going to have nominations for the vacant seat for 1 year. Do I have any nominations for that?
I would nominate Jim Del Rio.
All right, Tom Carroll nominates Jim Del Rio. And Jim Rush seconds that. Go ahead.
I nominate Chris Bukowski. Hold on.
Okay.
Who did Jim?
That was Tom Carroll
Second was
by Jim Rush. And who was that again? Chris?
I'll second that.
All right, Tim Fisk seconds that. And that's for the 1 year seat. Any other nominations? Okay, not seeing any nominations. We will close the nominations for this year, and next month we will vote for the candidates.
And just, we want to make sure our secretary's got everything they need. Yes?
Okey-doke. Thank you very much.
This is a quick look at a petition for what is called a committee person. So if you just take a look at it. So what you have to do is you have to fill it out. Actually, if you go online here, let me show you this if we can get this to work. Not connected. All right, I apologize. Couldn't connect. But you can go right to their internet, and I think I lost the darn thing. I'll need Frank to come back up here. But anyway, the petitions, wait, maybe I did not. Let me see here. So the petitions are online, but we also have the petitions with us for to be a committee person. And just check if we have anything else before we go to our break.
Andrew, with regard to the petitions, they are online for Norco. I'm not sure that they're online for Lehigh County. So either way, the forms we have here can be used in either county. If you can't go online at Lehigh County, then you can pick up a petition here that we have and just circulate it. You need 10 signatures, and you need to submit it before the 13th of February to your county courthouse at the voter registration office.
Okay, why do we ask for donations? Well, there's several things we have to pay for. It helps pay for the meeting expenses, in other words, the room rental, for the firehouse, the coffee, etc. $458 total. Use the buttons on the table and make your donation. I think I've asked for that once before, and I'm asking again. $10 per person is most appreciated. If you're short on cash, you can always use the chips that we talked about earlier. You can purchase using your credit or debit card. And thank you. Tonight's coffee sponsor, and I already thanked her for the excellent tasting coffee that she sponsored, was Maria Montero, and I think Maria left. So we thank Maria for donating. Is she here? Still here? There she is. You moved.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break now, so we encourage you again to sign petitions. If you have any questions regarding a committee person, see either Tom Carroll or myself, Len Geisinger, or Joe Bichon. And please, make sure you renew your membership at this time. If you have any new membership, pick up those IDs and wear your IDs. Do not forget to purchase your cakes and canoes to support the Boys and Girls West Club and your raffle tickets, your 50-50 raffle tickets. All right, here we go. Mr. Jim Russ, take it away.
All right, thank you very much. I don't know how many in the audience actually know me, but there is an easy way to remember my name. I know you've all heard this before. Take one look at me, and you think, that guy should rush to the gym.
You're in shape. Ron's in shape. Hey,
Can't help myself, sorry. All right, once again, we're going to ask for your cooperation here as far as silence. We have our guest speaker here. And this time I would like to invite her to the stage. Charlene, take your time. Charlene Wheeler, who is a doctor. Unfortunately, Greg could not be with us tonight. And we want to send out our prayers to his father, who is in the hospital. I think you said down in Virginia? Yes. And our prayers go out to him. Greg's father, 92 years old. Great guy.
Thank you so much, everybody, for having us up here again. And it's truly an honor and a privilege. It's truly invigorating to be surrounded by so many action-oriented individuals. Not just talk about it, but walk the walk. So that's awesome. So this is going to be kind of a little quick presentation. After going through this, my biggest thing that I'm asking everybody is, we know that there's something wrong with our healthcare system. We know our patients we as patients don't have what we want, which is control and choice of our healthcare and our healthcare dollars. So in order to change the system, what can we do? So this is what this is about. That's just what we do in our clinic. So this is the three things that I wanted to talk to you about. This is, before we get to these three things, I want to talk to you about just one diagnosis. Everybody knows pneumonia. At once upon a time, as a doctor, when you diagnosed pneumonia, it was just pneumonia, you treated them, the patient went home, that was it. Now, we don't just diagnose pneumonia. We say a diagnostic code for pneumonia. We have a diagnostic code for fever, diagnostic code for shortness of breath, diagnostic code for hypoxia or need for oxygen. Every one of these codes is a billing code that's mandated by insurance that adds a patient, drives up the profitability of the patient. It's our fault as doctors we abrogated the right to the business of medicine because business leaders came and said, hey, you guys just see patients, we'll take care of the business. So we did. And they took that illness, that core element, like a pneumonia, that profitability of an illness, and maximized it. So these are the three things that are really hindering the physician-patient relationship. And what our business leaders realize is the more distance we can put between the doctor and the patient, the more profit it will generate. And so this is truly by design that there's lack of time in a doctor's office because it encourages referral. From a doctor's perspective, you have 10 minutes to see somebody and say somebody comes in with knee pain. That knee pain could be something very benign, but it could be cancer, it could be something bigger. So when you only have 10 minutes to be able to ask the question, you are much more likely, if you have even the hedge of hesitant that it could be something more, to send a referral because you don't want to miss something because you didn't have time to evaluate. So that encourages referral. The second one, I'm sorry, go the other slide. The second one, lack of access. You call your office, you're sick, you don't have access. It encourages urgent care. Why do they have this new thing called urgent care? It's popped up all over the place because patients don't have access to their doctor. Insurance mandates that truly dictates care. What insurance says, somebody, behind a desk tells a patient and a doctor what can and cannot be done. So how can we actually fix this? Our system is such a big sore that trying to put a little Band-Aid on one area is not going to quite fix it. We really do have to establish a parallel system that's already in existence right now. It's called direct primary care that addresses those three things, and it puts the doctor-patient relationship as the profit motivator. Every business needs a profit motivator, and we need to put that back together. So direct primary care fixes it. It gives you unlimited time. You can address 80 to 90% of your healthcare needs, and you can use referrals, but not because there wasn't enough time to evaluate. It's only if it's needed. Unhindered access. It's 24/7 accessibility. So there is never a reason to go to an urgent care. Emergency room? Yes, for a true emergency, but not just an urgent care visit. And there's no insurance. So that is not a lot of times people think direct primary care is a type of insurance because we've been so brainwashed to be tethered to that card as our safety net. It's not insurance. It's really a relationship. And that's so basically what's best for you is that. And so that's all good, what's best for you, but at the end of the day, money matters, right? How much does it cost? So direct primary care really is concierge medicine, but not concierge prices. So average individual pays about $125, gets taken out of their paycheck for insurance. So that ends up being about $6,500 a year. And then most people have about at least an out-of-pocket deductible of $3,000, sometimes even $10,000. So to be estimating low, we're going to say one individual actually ends up paying, if they end up needing health care, about $10,000 out of pocket. And that doesn't include what their employer pays. This is just the individual. Direct primary care membership, most memberships are about $1 to $3 a day, $360 to $1,140 a year, depending on your age and how much. And there are health share ministries, and there's actually insurance companies coming into this too, basically high deductible plans. And ends up being about the bottom number, $1,500 to $2,400. So it not only saves you money today, but because it's based on a relationship, you can address your healthcare needs. It really prevents those hospitalizations later. So this, there's a link to it, but we don't have to get to it. So this, right now, there are about 2,203 direct primary care clinics across the country. Those are all the little ones. You can actually go on there, put your zip code, and see if that clinic, and meet that doctor, and see if that's something you would be interested in. So this movement is not just, it's not about us and our clinic, but I'm asking everybody here to learn about the movement, and if you feel it is the right healthcare choice for you, to join a direct primary care clinic. So right here, locally, there's 4. There's Arrow Primary Care, which is a direct primary care right here in Bethlehem. Green Hills Direct Care is in Allentown. She actually was a family practice doctor in the Lehigh Valley Health System. Ours is CCC Health. And this one is, they actually have an office in Whitehall and in Allentown. There's an OB, internal medicine, and a pediatrician in this group. So this is the kind of the thing that happened with COVID is that this really, the reason doctors like it is because it gives us the autonomy to do what we want and to spend as much time that we need with our patients instead of somebody dictating how, when, who, and what we can do. It really is free. You feel like you were a puppet with strings attached and those you just got cut off. You know, it's like the release of Pinocchio. It's awesome. So into that endeavor, what I'm asking everybody to do, my husband and I, it's not the greatest, I mean, it's, you know, we're doing it ourselves for financials because it costs money, but we're taking apart every aspect. So if every single person here would join a YouTube channel and just to learn about it, we're going to talk about different aspects of healthcare, unraveling it, the Goliath profiteer, and how we can change things. It would be absolutely wonderful. And it's not just for people right here, but if you have family in Arizona, wherever, tell people about this. But we need all hands on deck. Every patient, we, the patient is what I've been saying, can change healthcare. I am a pediatrician at heart, and I do live in the land of unicorns and rainbows, but I really do believe that we can do this together if we just have that step of faith and just learn about it. Not necessarily something for your family today, but I guarantee you it will be something for your grandchildren or your children tomorrow, because that's what we want. So this is, look, I have time, so I'm gonna, can we click that link on just the word link?
This one?
Yeah, the DeSoto's Memorial Hospital. So this is a hospital in Florida that adopted the direct primary care model and how much money they save. Just the word link. That's where it's a 3-minute video. And this is actually this is a car dealership. Both of these links are on our website too, but it's a car dealership and how they save money by actually partnering with a direct primary care doctor for their staff and what happened.
So we're not there.
Oh, it's not working? Okay. So if you guys could Google DeSoto's Memorial Hospital saving money, direct primary care, you'll get that video. It's a 3-minute YouTube video. It's amazing. So this is a little bit about us. So we do that primary care, direct primary care, which is the traditional primary care that everybody else does. But then I have a lot of Asian medicine background. My husband has done a lot of functional medicine. He actually, working in the ER, he really is, he's like, all I see is, you know, chronic illnesses not being taken care of in the outpatient world, and people come crashing. And then we generate all this money by doing 1 billion procedures because the outpatient time is restricted to 10 minutes. So we've taken an active role in our clinic to do what we call direct functional medicine. So this is just a kind of thought, getting into the root cause of what something is going on. So there's one condition that can cause many things. So for example, the depression, if you're depressed, could it be vitamin D deficiency? Could it be your thyroid hormone? Could it be gut dysbiosis? It could be all kinds of things. Instead of just putting you on an SSRI, we get to the root cause, figure that out, fix it, because harness your body's innate ability to self-heal. The other way, inflammation, so one cause of many conditions. Like inflammation in your body often is linked to tons of autoimmune conditions that generate tons of profit. These drugs for Crohn's and arthritis, psoriasis, all of those immune suppressants, but we can address it at a very fundamental level. So inflammation causing that to heart disease to depression, all of those things. So that is the luxury of having extra time to figure things out and getting to the root cause. That's just something every direct primary care clinic may not do that, but some of them will. So, and what's really nice about that approach, tied with the direct primary care, the membership model, it has the continual follow-up. And that's it. The biggest thing I would love from everybody is just join the movement and learn about it, learn about direct primary care. I'm actually going to a conference in March to Florida about it. There's a lot of movement. We've had electronic medical record systems made for it. University of Pennsylvania is actually trying to, because they're seeing that there's too much momentum because it's based on trust and a relationship. University of Penn is trying to call it corporate direct or direct corporate or something. Trying to use the word direct and, buy into it.
Okay, so we have two microphones here.
I'll give a microphone. Tim's got one back there.
I am a senior citizen. I'm very happy with my primary care physician and their office. Do you recommend that I look for an alternative? Or is there a way that I could somehow help the movement by doing both?
Absolutely. So no, I don't. The whole thing is it's a trusted relationship with your doctor. You have that, I would hold on to it. I would not leave it at all. It's because it's about you and what you need, right? But how could you help the movement? Learn about direct primary care, talk to other people about it, and just learn about it and share and do that. You don't have to, if you're happy where you are, you should not change. If you're not, then you should change.
Hi, thank you for speaking to me. Why did you start your own practice?
Oh, okay. Why did I? So absolutely. So I've spoken up here before. My husband and I, we took a strong stand during COVID. We realized the relationship and what is right necessarily for the patient in front of us wasn't necessarily a part of the protocol system. I worked for St. Luke's system and for Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. I graduated from medical school, worked in the big hospital system because that's where children's hospitals are. They're always associated with a big one. And never, thought everything I was doing was okay until really COVID. And I had a 15-year-old girl came into the ER with myocarditis. That was before CDC said it was okay. That was a possible side effect of the vaccine. And just me saying that it could be potential from the vaccine, I was completely dismissed. I was not allowed to think through a differential, and then so that actually started my journey, and I spoke out against the vaccine mandate. on 69 News, and I was told to not come back to work 3 hours and 7 minutes later. And so,
We love you.
And so in that, we were going to open up our own practice. And the reason we knew we needed to open up our own practice because during COVID, we actually made house calls and took care of patients and did what we could, but we didn't have a place to give people oxygen. We had the skills. My husband's ER, we had the skills, but we didn't have a physical place. And so when the dust settled, we're like, we've got to have a physical place. And looking into all of this, and we could have just done fee-for-service, we could have just gone through insurance and all of that, but we really felt a calling that God wanted us to do something more, which was to actually make a change, swing the pendulum back to the doctor-patient. So this is a harder model. It doesn't have the same, it's not a model that you're going to get rich on because it's not a lot of money. I'm on call 24/7. But it's a model that can really transition what healthcare needs is health. That's why.
Next question over here, Doctor.
Hello.
I'm confused in that most of the people in here are 65 years old. I need Medicare. Medicare is the insurance. I need to address that.
So we do actually have quite a few Medicare patients in our clinic. So what so there's Medicare Part A, B, C, and D, right? So anybody who has Medicare, what I usually say is look into your own Medicare plan and look at how much money you spend on Medicare, right?
What does Medicare recognize you?
I actually opted out of Medicare.
At 65, you gotta be on Medicare.
Well, no, so you can be. So what I'm saying, so I have patients that I see right now who have Medicare, but every 3 months, actually Medicare approaches me and asks, are you sure you don't want to be a Medicare provider, the better system? I don't want to be a Medicare provider because for one reason, Medicare doesn't recognize the importance of vitamin D. If I order vitamin D, I just recently had a patient who paid through Medicare. They were charged $120 for one vitamin D. In our lab, in the direct primary care model, a vitamin D is $17. So what I'm saying is that my father-in-law, who's 92, he has Medicare, right? So he is on his cardiologist, his high blood pressure medicine. He went to pay for it. He paid $16 a month for his Part D plan, but when he went to get his 90 days of his heart medicine, he had to pay out of pocket $216 or $217 because his deductible was $500. That exact same medicine, I looked it up. I can get it for him for $51 through the bank. So, and then after he meets his $500 deductible, the coverage Medicare will allow him, he only has to pay $54. So I'm like, even after they make their deductible, they still make $3 more on my father-in-law. So I feel bad that the Medicare system exists, but we have to, like the generations coming or whatever, we have to try to move away from it. Because it's a racket. It's a complete racket. I just had a Zoom meeting actually Tuesday night with Senator Marshall from Kansas and Representative Burgess from Texas. And the whole topic was on Medicare because there's a huge amount of Medicare cuts going, I don't know if you know this, but the Medicare cuts that are coming in they basically cut the doctor rates and raised facility fees for the hospitals because of the corporate entities that are responsible. So what is it doing? I don't know if you guys heard this, but lots of doctors are retiring. I just had an ENT, ears, nose, and throat doctor I talked to. She's like, I just don't think this is sustainable. She's like, I got paid $250 to take tonsils out. That's what I got paid. That was my fee. The rest of the fee went to the facility. The patient paid a ton more, you know, but it went to the facility.
There's one more back there, Tom.
If you're not participating in Medicare, and you recommend, and somebody is Medicare eligible, and you recommend a lab or diagnostic test that, let's say, isn't a vitamin D, but it's something that's more generic, does Medicare Part B still respond to that, even though you, the non-participating physician, are writing the order?
Yes. So when I opted out of Medicare, Medicare does not cover my services, what I do. But they will cover everything else that if I write an order for a lab, I order through their Medicare, they will cover it. If they want to get an MRI or whatever, it's a level of whatever. It's honestly, it's really frustrating that I have to literally go through, meet this check mark and tell the government, yes, I don't want to be under you. Yeah, you know, like say that over and they do it every 3 months until I think I have I don't know how long I have to do it for, but it's eventually they let you, like, don't ask that anymore. But I'm new into it, so I'm still have to answer that.
Take one final question over on the back.
Well, first of all, thank you. But if you are a member, and this is 2 parts of the GPC, and is there a limit to the number of times, let's say I have a chronic issue, and 2 parts, is there a limit to the number of visits I have? And if you and your husband can't handle, what do I do then? You refer me to somebody else, and if I don't have an insurance plan anymore, how does that work? So if you can just touch on this, and thank you again.
Absolutely. So number one, everybody should have insurance. Insurance needs to, because our current system has insurance. What we are asking people to do is to have a high deductible plans or share plans, so it will cover those other things, a referral, all of that. So like we talked about, a direct primary care can take care of about 80 to 90% of your needs. But there is a reason for referral that's 10 to 20%. And if it's needed, it's needed. And then that would take into that. There are direct primary care doctors who are gastroenterologists and all of that too. But that would be a good direct primary care doctor for somebody who has, say, Crohn's as an underlying thing, and their direct primary care doctor could be that, not me, like that. And your other question was, are there limited number of visits? No, there isn't. It's 24/7 access. You don't have a copay. It's actually, when people come in and see you, they're like, okay, what do I need to pay? It's on your thing. It's membership. It's covered. You just go. Yeah.
Dr. Shakti Wheeler, we thank you very much. It was very informative. Give your father-in-law our best and our prayers, please. Thank you.
You scamp.
I can't help myself. All right, now I think it is that time of the evening to do the drawing. Final announcements. I have one question for the audience out here. Now, we're all patriots, and we all know what's going on, and we're all gung-ho about the election coming up. My question to you is, do your kids know what you're doing? Do your grandkids know what you're doing? Do you talk to your kids and your grandkids about what we are doing? And what you are up to? You're up to no good, you know that. But do they know that? Come on, let's get them on board. You know, because they don't have a clue.
It's their future.
Do you know what the registration is? This has happened more than once where I went to a household and I get the parent signature and they say, hold on, my son Johnny's upstairs. I said, I'm sorry, he's listed as a Democrat. I'll never forget the one household. He's listed as a what? Johnny, you get down here now. That's a split household, so you have to handle that. But or the wife and a husband, they'll sit there arguing, and I say, hey, just get your signature and continue afterwards.
You know, I just had one other thing. I know back in the previous election, I did what they call a walking route, where in your district, you go door to door, you talk to the people, and you're given papers that tell you what the party affiliation is for the parents and what the party affiliation is for the children that are of age. Ladies and gentlemen, believe it or not, I was astounded. A lot of the older people that I talked to were Republicans. Their children were Democrats. And their parents had no clue as to why and what their kids were doing.
They're teachers.
So listen, they're what?
They're teachers.
Teachers. They have to be teachers. You guys have to be teachers. You have to get out there, you have to tell your children, your grandchildren, great-grandchildren in some cases, in my case, exactly what is going on.
So for the next slide here, you see the Berks County Patriot Meeting is Thursday, February 15, 2024. Sam and Linda, stand up for me there, please. Sam. Sam and Linda Brentador, dear friends of mine for many, many, many years. The organization they have created in Berks County is second to none. They are out there fighting the same battle we are, different demographics in some ways. I'm so proud that they're my friend, and please, I encourage you, if you can possibly make it out to their meetings, go out to their meetings. And thank you for coming to our meetings and being supportive.
All right, the Second Amendment meeting will be held on March 14th. Now, I encourage everyone to go to the Second Amendment meeting. Normally, it is at the Lehigh Valley Sporting Place. It is very informative, and you learn a lot that you actually didn't know. So I encourage you all to go. I will be there. And I expect to see most of the faces in the audience out there also. Thank you. Next month's meeting is Thursday, March 7th. Keep that in mind, write it on your calendars. I expect to see this place filled. All right. I sent it to the back of the room. You guys will draw your 50-50 tickets.
Thank you very much, everyone, for buying tickets tonight. The winner will get $245. We have Maria Montero drawing the ticket. And the winner is, thank you very much, 0855379. 0855379.
Valerie
Congratulations. Thank you very much, everybody.
Okay, if we can have everyone's attention and have everybody, please be quiet for 1 minute. They're going to do one last drawing, and then we're going to make final announcements. You do have the final 100 tickets sold there, right? You're going to pull those for the gun raffle?
So we sold 100 tickets for a $500 gift certificate. Tim is going to draw the prize.
All right, we have a lucky winner here. It's,
Harold Dixon. Where's Harold?
No.
There he is.
Oh my God. Sorry. Harold Dixon, I tell you, you are. Rob Harold, how many wins have you had here at the Tea Party? 4 or 5. Well, thank you for your generosity. See, you got to be in it to win it. A quick announcement that when Tom talked, I think I forgot to put in there. So we did go to Washington to the Right for Life March. There were several members here from the Tea Party. If you were there in Washington, D.C., raise your hands. But we had several people attend the Right for Life March. And it did snow that day briefly. It was cold, but not that cold, but we still had a good attendance and we marched all of us. I'll bring you some photos next month, but we thank you for your support for that.
All right, if I could have everyone's attention, if we could have her talking to teams for just a second here. Andrew's going to make some final remarks, but before we do, again, I want to thank the congressional candidates for putting their neck out on the line here and their reputations and everything else. It's ugly to run, and we tried to provide a venue that they could educate us about their positions, and I hope that every single one of you here signed a petition for one of those three candidates. Also, there's no excuse for anybody in this room to walk out of this room without having signed petitions for President Trump in the county in which they live, and also the state row officers who saw Stacey Garrity, and then the delegate candidates over here. Please, if you did not sign them, sign them. This is important. We need to send a message to the Republican Party and to the world that we here in the Lehigh Valley are firmly behind President Trump, and we are going to get the best possible candidate to go against Susan Wiles in the fall. So that all starts here tonight. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we leave, I do think Andrew would like to close the meeting with a prayer, if we would all stand.
So quick closing announcement, I just want to thank each and every one of you for coming out this evening. Again, as Tom said, thank you to all the candidates. I'd like to especially thank Glenn Geisinger, the chairman of Northampton County, and Joe Bichot, chairman of Lehigh Valley County. Lehigh County, I apologize. Thank you to their bravery, and we hope that all of you will consider, like in Rocky, not being afraid and getting in the ring. Closing prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful evening, for all the members, for their generosity, their support. And we thank each of our candidates, and we ask you, God, as we move forward now, soon as the petitions close, that we have a successful primary and get great candidates on the ballot, and let us hear out of this Tea Party, our Northampton and Lehigh County Republican parties, make America great here in the Lehigh Valley. Amen.
Amen.
Have a safe evening home, folks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please be safe.